Okay. Alright, that sounds fun. I'm excited. You know, naturally when you start to get like obsessed with something, like an album or a film or a game or a book, you know, you look up articles about it, you look up videos about it, you look up reviews about it, interviews about the creator and what their process was and all this sort of stuff. And by proxy of doing all of that as a fan, you end up coming across a lot of media publication outlets in relation to that thing. And I'm a big music guy, I'm a big music nerd, and I've collected a fair few of the, you know, music publication Infinity Stones. You know, you got your big players, Pitchfork, Rolling Stone, Consequence of Sound if you want, you know, a little bit of line of best fit. Doesn't hurt every once in a while. Loud and Quiet is a personal favorite of mine. But there's one I've discovered, I think it was like 3 years ago. Might have been through Rick the Lie or Deep Cuts. But yeah, the Quietus. The Quietus, man. This publication, bro. This publication's built a little crazy different, okay? I've been keeping my eye out on what the Quietus have been saying for a minute now. And every time they drop a year-end list, me and some friends of mine, we like to play this little meta game where we kind of try and make a prediction or a guess as to how many albums in the list we've actually like heard of. And it's always lower than we freaking expect. You gotta keep in mind, we're all people that like tune into music every week. Every Thursday night, we are looking up what's coming out tomorrow. We're looking at the Metacritic upcoming release calendar. We're looking up album of the year. We're keeping our eyes and ears extremely peeled for new promising releases, and somehow, some way, the Quietus manages to completely outpace us every freaking year. We're looking at this list, we're like, dude, how are you finding all of these absolutely like unknown unknowns of artists? Like, we're talking like 100 monthly listeners. Like these are artists that like you don't find them unless you are like sleuthing to like page 50 on like Bandcamp or some shit. And yet here they are, like entering the top 20, sometimes even the top 10. Yo, here we were thinking we were tapped in. We thought we were the ones that knew the underground shit. Never mind, because the Quietus is always seemingly 5 steps ahead. So it got me thinking about when I was younger and I was like, you know, watching the needle drop, watching freaking Spectrum Pulse, freaking ARTV, whoever, you know, looking up like, oh yeah, what are they liking? What album should I be checking out? I'm trying to get into music like that. I want to see what's popping. You know, I'll look up top 50 albums of the year and just take notes and write down the ones that looked interesting to me. That's what I did when I was like 13 or 14 years old. I'm at a point now where I've been keeping up with music for like years, and you know, I recognize a lot of the names that pop up when I Google like upcoming albums. I'm like, oh yeah, I know these guys. I need to get around to this, blah blah blah. And here comes the Quietus kind of rekindling that same feeling that I had when I was younger. I was like, yo, these are all artists that I do not know about, that nobody seems to freaking know about, that like no one's talking about. You're not seeing any discourse online about the new album from freaking, I don't know, Oozing fucking Wound or some shit. Like dude, I'm always so consistently surprised when I look at the recent reviews just to see how much they cover that is completely like off the grid, and it's right there side by side with like your Tyler the Creators, your Charlie XCXs, your Kendrick Lamar's. It's been a minute since I've gone on like a music, you know, kind of, what's the word? Excursion. Like I've gone really digging and diving and exploring for like new underground stuff. Like these days I'm really just, at least at the moment in my current routine, if I'm listening to a new album that just dropped, it's from an artist that I know and love, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna check it out because I'm just naturally interested because I know who they are. Like FKA Twigs dropped this year, Deaf Heaven dropped this year. Like when they drop, it's like, cool, I'm gonna check it out when it drops because I want to, because I know those artists and I know I love those artists, so I'm gonna check it out. But I've not really made a lot of time to like go spelunking in music this year. The only record I can think of that I love from this year that's from an artist that I hadn't really familiarized myself with at all before was the new OK Lou record, Choke Enough. I think that's a really great album, and I'm really glad I gave that a go. And I'm sure there's plenty of other fantastic records that have dropped this year from artists that I've never even heard of that would blow my mind. So I decided, you know what? Let's do it. Let's drop what I'm doing right now. Let's like, you know, hit the brakes on everything else happening in my life. Let's go and find some really cool, special underground music. I took some time to do a little bit of research. I went through their recent reviews and I handpicked 3 records that just stuck out to me. It could have been due to the cover art, it could have been due to the genre labels or the comparisons or the review I read. Scud FM in catchy punk energy, acid stuff. Oh, bro, I know this album. This album's wonderful, man. The Ephemeron Loop. Sea Power. Didn't you guys do the Disco Elysium soundtrack? That was you guys, right? Oh, what a number one. That's a sick number one, but I don't think I know what number two is. Let's give this number two a go. I just decided to take some time to really go looking and find something that excited me, that felt interesting. So I handpicked 3 that for whatever reason just struck me as something that I could find some value in. That being said though, sometimes your judgment is not the best. You just kind of got to go with the flow. Someone else comes along and says, hey bro, you gotta check out this record. Trust me, let me put you on. And you know what? They were way ahead of you. They know your taste. They know you're gonna fuck with it. And some of the time it's some shit that you never would have checked out willingly by yourself on your own accord. So I thought I'd leave it up to the gods for a minute and just spin the wheel. I decided to handpick another batch of records, like around 10 or so. Popped them into a wheel, I spun the wheel, and I decided to listen to 3 of those as well. So I've got 3 hand-picked albums and 3 random albums. We'll do 3. We'll do 3 albums. Alright. Okay. Get rid of that one like so. Apply wheel changes. Alright, last one. Alright, 50-foot wave. We have The Full Tower by Quade, Matchless by Deep Cabaret, Safe Place by Sasha Rankas, Shell Wave by Surgeon, In It by Scud FM, The Hum by James Ellis Ford, and finally, last but not least, Black Pearl by 50-foot wave. Let's see if we can find some hidden gems. Right now, at my disposal, I have 7 acclaimed records from the Quietus. I went through their recent reviews, I went through their year-end lists, I checked out their album of the week, and my goal for this video is to find at least 2 hidden gems. And what you'll see in this video is me documenting that journey of going through the trenches of the Quietus to find truly god-tier music. Are the Quietus a reputable source for finding exciting new music in today's massively saturated internet age? Let's find out. We started off with Scud FM's In It. So how was that? How was Scud FM's record? Well, it was interesting. It was cool. It wasn't a home run. I wouldn't say this album's a hidden gem. I don't think this is an album that everybody needs to stop what they're doing and listen to right now. I did get some value out of it. It was really impressive as far as the musicality and the sense of rhythm and peppiness. There was a good relationship and chemistry between all the band members, clearly, but compositionally and vocally, this record was sort of stuck in a box at times. Alright, let's start with In It. Make sure shuffle's off. That'd be a catastrophe if we left shuffle on. Alright, what we got? It's not really what I thought we were going to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. It's the Zach Fox song. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, that's nice, that's nice. I feel like it's missing something there. Come into the pink border. All the text, the central image is really sick. There was an extremely bizarre interlude on this album that I found weirdly seductive and alluring. And it was a complete departure to all the other songs, but it was one of the more compelling moments for me. Oh, hold on. Second Indran Gator War. Hope I said that correctly. I've never seen that word before. What the fuck? It's Danny Brown doing drill rappers.
All these niggas rap like Batman Beyond now, man. What the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas, man?
Yo, this one caught me off guard.
You know what I'm talking about now? Y'all don't want to be like a demon. I hit him in there. nigga, you 16.
Hey, why is this shit my favorite song so far? And I would say the absolute biggest home run on this album was Hex on My Sex. Hex on My Sex is track 2, and I think this has got mad single potential. It's got some really catchy riffs all over it, some plucky sort of indie rock, Two-Door Cinema Club-esque guitar lines that I think would go pretty well with a UK indie crowd, but it kind of maintains the spirit of post-punk music. Don't mind this at all, yeah. She's talking about being taken advantage of, seen as an object, sort of chewed up and spat out societally. Theme from Scud. Why not just Scud theme? That's bothering me more than this shit. Two-Door Cinema Club kind of. kind of shit, you know? I'm fucking with this. Track 3 is Ego. Let's see what we got. How does that initial kick sound like that? Like, it sounds like you took the guitar string and just ate it. Fuck yeah. Pussy anthem. Let's go. It kind of sounds like a calm idol. Alright, I feel like the lyrics are getting a little too on the nose PSA. I preferred it on the second track when it was more like a more of a personal storytelling album. That was a bit more interesting to me. Come on, let's go! Let's go! Capacitors, what we saying? Ooh! I like the atmosphere of this song. I like the sound palette, but again, the vocals I don't feel compelled by the voice guiding me through these atmospheres. Anyway, bigger boat. Hey. We're gonna need a bigger boat. I'll have what she's having. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Rosebud. Life is like a box of chocolates. Never know what you can get. Look at me, I am the captain. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this chorus. I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. Lisan al-Gaib. No, that doesn't work. Overall, this wasn't bad, but it definitely is clear to me that Scud FM have a little way to go before they really figure out their identity. The album's just sort of holding back from really going the extra mile and carving an identity for itself. This record musically is pretty derivative of a lot of stuff. I think The Fall are pretty evidently a big influence. This album is also very politically charged. Bob Crow was a legend? I'm assuming this is someone in politics. Bob Crow was a polarizing figure in British politics. Supporters praised him as a champion of the working class and a successful trade unionist. Boris Johnson argued that he held London to ransom with strikes. He's already off to a pretty good start. I do quite enjoy keeping up with politics and stuff, but I'm not too clued up on political history as much as I hope to be. So just say, hey look, Scud FM. If nothing else, you taught me something today. Thank you. Yeah, if you're in the mood to hear some sort of punky, politically charged, you know, fuzzy, groovy, indie pop, post-punk sort of stuff, Scud FM might do the trick for you. But I wouldn't go into this expecting too much in the way of vocal gymnastics. It's pretty cut and dry, knows what it is, commits to doing that, and doesn't really push itself much further beyond that, which is frustrating to me, but might be alright for someone else. I would give this record probably a 5, you know, maybe a 6. Was Quaid's The Fall Tower a hidden gem? Absolutely. This album was really strong. It was really, really strong. It's very patient, but I don't think it's boring at all. This thing is really smart when it comes to musical pacing. The tension and release windows are always really well timed. There's a consistent momentum and grip around your neck as you hear this record. It's really, really nicely produced as well. Everything sounds wide, atmospheric, vivid. The vocals reminded me quite a bit of a band called Caroline, in the sense that they have this big melodramatic weight to them, which I found pretty exciting. Quite often they were uncomfortably intimate, and that was powerful. Let's see what Quaid got to say. We only have 6 songs. They're all 5+ minutes each, except for this one. All right, let's get engrossed in the Fall Tower. I like this. Very nice. Very nice. The moments of release are timed so good. Yeah, okay, you got me in your palm. I'm listening. There's a real depth to this. This sounds great. Yeah, you got that string carrying you through at the top there. Lovely stuff. The sound effects. Oh, the ambiance, bro. You hear the ambiance, bro?
You hear the ambiance?
I can't really.
What? This is so ethereal.
I'm into the approach here. I'm liking this. That was a good intro. Track 2 is C Unit. C Unit, this song reminded me a lot of Death Crash, maybe not quite as heavy. There were moments where this song damn near jump scared me with some of its really, you know, heightened, tense moments. It was really strong. Each drum is given so much space. That like feedback effect, I really like that. Okay, as I was saying, that like sound, I don't think it is a feedback effect, but it's like the sound that happens with this kick. That sounds cool as shit. Getting a little bit of death crash. Oh my god, bro. Oh, this song's fucking creepy, man. Okay, that was kinda crazy. Quaid, that was slick. I'll give you that, bro. How we came into the... Oh, we're gonna bring back the drum. The vocals have this, like, tragic pain to them. Very controlled. It blends in so beautifully with all the music. Oh, I love it. The intro was cool, but this is like hitting. Yeah, that's a save. That's a save right there. Wait, okay, I'm with you. I see you. Let me see the artwork. What is that? Is that fire or is that something else? This is the shortest track. By Law 7.1, track 3. Okay. In a fight between Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid, and Quaid, I'm taking Quaid. Oh, you hear that sound in the back? Ooh. I really love the kind of almost nervous, like distant and sort of shy deliveries. It sounds so tangible. Like the emotion is so like in your, they're staring right at you. The way the guy's singing. Quaid from Bristol. You guys are good, dude. A big standout for me was one of the longer tracks. I think it was track 4. Let me just get the title. Just want to make sure I remember it correctly. All right, I say that, but I don't know if I can even say this title. Nanarth Ganol, 7 minutes long. This is straight up just like a ambient post-rock exercise. It was wonderful. It used every second of that 7 minutes very wisely. It was really, really steadily growing, rumbly, textured, loads of depth to this track, and it absolutely transported me. I thought it was really, really great. There was an amazing crescendo on the last track too, Black Kites. You got a second album as well. This is your second album. This is your debut. Oh, let me add that. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, like this definitely sounds like a band that there's some seasoning going on here. Like, you know, it's a confident album. So it makes sense that this is the second go around. This is album number 2. Okay, we got a bit of a long intro. This is the longest track, so we're gonna close our eyes and get taken away into Quaidville. This is amazing. I love this. It's like you forget life before the song started. This is Quaid's second album, and that's pretty clear. Like, these guys are very competent. They know exactly what they're doing, and they made a really compelling album here. I think these guys are one to watch for sure. I'd give this record a strong 7 to an 8 out of 10. I could definitely see myself like falling deeper in love with the album on subsequent listens. I think there's definitely some people on the other end of this video that would be moved and impressed with what Quaid pulled off here. Oh my lordy lord. I discovered peak music? What the fuck? Sasha Renkas, Safe Place. Is this album a hidden gem? Honestly, yeah. This was really good. This was maybe the only record on this whole thing where some of my friends had rated it. So, you know, I guess this has got around in some circles. I found myself quite moved and stimulated by this. This is really gentle, really tender, really earnest. And the opening track, West, That's my favorite song of this whole excursion, this whole video, this whole thing. West by Sasha Renkas is getting frequent play from me. This is a tremendous track. Sasha Renkas coming out of Ukraine. So we got this hit play on Safe Place. Get the volume about there. Yep, that's good. Did say this was like ambient electronic stuff, which I'm all for. I'm all for. Love that constant pad, like, you know, providing a really nice backbone for all these lovely sounds over the top. Whoa. Sasha.
This shit is hard.
Oh, this is...
You hear the ambiance?
I can't really.
I'm turning this up real quick.
This is so ethereal. Listen to that depth. That might be the hardest shit I've ever heard. I'm feeling moved.
The strings, bro! That's beautiful stuff. Okay. Oh, Sasha, if we're on this kind of vibe for 40 minutes, I'm... West by Sasha Renkas. Lord have mercy. Oh my god, 2 minutes 47? No, I didn't even feel time pass just then. I wasn't even thinking of time at all. I was absorbed in that. I'm feeling good after that. The reverb on this song it's the exact amount of reverb I want. It doesn't drown itself too much in its reverb. Strings like intertwine with these lovely synth plucks that just embolden so proudly when the bass comes in, and it just like completes itself so naturally. It's lovely, and it manages to feel like an organic song despite it all being very like digital and synth led. It feels like this song is coming from an ancient relic that someone's dug up, and there's all these mysteries around it. It feels like this is just the sound coming from it. It has this sort of aura of wisdom around it that I love so much. Throughout the album, sometimes Sasha will provide some vocal input, which is normally pretty minimal and quiet. It's never particularly show-stopping, but it never like gets away from the track's atmosphere. Most of the time this album plays it pretty passive. Drums do appear on occasion, but they're normally, again, very sparse. This thing is extremely interested in just sort of kind of giving you a little brain massage. It's very patient, very subtle. It will sit in long stretches of kind of bassy drones. It respects itself in keeping to that vision. You know, it's very unconcerned with being like flashy or anything like that, and I love that about it. Sasha, or Sasha, however you prefer. Right away, I am just agreeing with the way melodies are getting paired up with counter melodies, and the way it's all sort of slowly moving towards something, and it's creating a larger portrait with each added element, and it's just like giving new context to the old elements. And we got some vocals. With the vocals, I'm thinking of like Nicholas Jar now, which is always a positive compliment coming from me. I'm a big Nicholas Jar fan. Yeah, bro, this is sexy. This is the kind of music to where when a hi-hat comes in, it's like, it's hot. It's an extremely good record, I think, for kind of homework or studying or just relaxing. It's a really passive, gentle, earnest piece of work. This album will pretty often like come through with a really solid, bouncy, catchy melody, but it will sort of reduce it to fit into the world of this kind of tranquil, blissful record. Safe Place, extremely appropriate title. That's how this album is trying to present itself in everything it does. But in that, it's not the riskiest. You know, your mileage is going to vary depending on how attracted you are to albums that do play it on the gentle, quiet, soft side. You know, for a lot of people, this could be a really dull, boring thing, but for me, this was really strong. I thought this was really good in what it was going for. I think it achieved it really confidently, and I will definitely be keeping my ears out for future Sasha Renkas recordings and productions and albums. This was really solid. I would give this a comfortable 7. And the next record, Surgeon's Shellwave. Is this a hidden gem? Almost. I don't know. I gotta say, the album, front to back, it's pretty exhausting. This album is giving you one thing for 8 tracks, and how quality that thing is being delivered to you on each of the 8 tracks, it seems to vary pretty massively. I can't say I left this thing particularly stunned or enamored. It's not doing anything you haven't heard before. The kicks are extremely round, extremely aggressive, and they are unrelenting, and the arpeggios are fluttering all over the place manically. It feels like the album is just a never-ending fucking cyberpunk chase scene or something. Like you're fighting a boss that gets stronger with every subsequent track, and which that means like by the time you get to like track 6, it's like holy fuck, I get it. It's like imagine playing Elden Ring and Millennia's got like a 3rd phase, you know? It's like holy fuck, this is just stupid at this point. The challenge no longer becomes exciting. It's like it kind of becomes exhausting, and there's a fatigue involved, and that really sets in quicker than you want with an album like this. At first I was having an absolute blast with this thing. The first like 3-4 tracks, absolutely rock solid, and the interlude that bridges the first 4 tracks to the final 4 tracks was also golden. But then the final 4 tracks happened and I just could have completely done without them. I want to see what the alternate reality looks like where the first half and the second half of this record are swapped around. I wonder if it would be the exact same experience, because I just don't think this album deviates at all from its central kind of core structure, to the point where by the time you reach the end you are just so kind of sick of hearing it. And look, to be fair, repetition, hyper digital, kind of cold, textureless, like raw drums and synths, like that is sort of the backbone of any good techno record, sure. But to me it was extremely obvious which songs had more interesting ideas and more of a reason to keep you in its pocket for like 6+ minutes than others. It's pretty obvious some tracks just were filler. If you're a big techno head, if you love techno music and you like going to like fucking Berlin, you're the guy from Disco Elysium, like that, if that's you, give this album a go. You're probably going to enjoy yourself. But if you're looking for a really compelling, unique take on this sound that is engaging from front to back, this album will not do that for you. I cannot see that happening. This is extremely cut and dry, and it's good at what it's trying to do, but it's not interested in proving anything beyond that. Overall, yeah, it's all right. I'd go like 5-6 out of 10. Next up, 50 Foot Wave Black Pearl. Is this a hidden gem? Nah. Unfortunately, we're looking at my least favorite of the lot here. This one was pretty weak. Kind of reminded me of the band Tropical Fuckstorm a little bit in its sound palette, but without nearly the same intensity or creativity. Most of this album's runtime is spent just sort of chugging along one really dull, basic, simple, boring riff that on occasion, you know, an atmosphere can really come of it. Like the opening track did set the tone pretty well. It definitely says something. When my favorite track here was the 2.5 minute long intermission song in the middle that not a huge amount was really happening in the song, like retrospectively, you know, thinking, but I had a little bit of a swing to it, a little bit of sauce, you know. It was the only one that really felt like it had some kind of distinguishable life. The rest were pretty okay, just sort of sulking in the misery. We got a title track right now, by the way, Black Pearl. You're on about that curse. I like that. That's a much like more soft sound compared to anything else the record has shown me so far. We got a little bit more like sweetness on this one. Yeah, wait, oh, that drum groove is great. I love that. There it is a little bit. This is just an instrumental track. I don't think I've heard Kristen Hurst's voice yet. This is sick. I really like this one. Dude, King Cruel on this song would sound crazy. There's a television. I just found this whole thing to be a real drag, especially the last couple tracks. I remember really being just sort of done with this. A lot of the songs here also feel like a bit of a tease. The album has these extremely brief moments of real chaos, real like unhinged madness, but then just completely backs out of it right away. And it does it so often, and you just really hope someone could just give this band the confidence to just go there, and it just never does. I found it really, really annoying. It's definitely one I'd recommend skipping. And it kind of gives me the impression that, you know, we're listening to artists that have made a lot of music over the course of their lives, and they're at a point where they're kind of running out of things to do or say. The song sounds like it's like summoning a demon. It sounds really confused. None of the elements are like coming together right now very nicely. It's a really good vocal performance though. It's all going to connect here. Oh, you fumbled that. Fuck. This sounds cool. This sounds like some shit that would play at the Bronze in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But it's an episode where, like, I don't know, some evil shit is in the Bronx, like trying to lure Buffy in, or Buffy's been like possessed by some like dark shit. It's a season 3 Faith episode. Someone's getting manipulated. I'm about to say something kind of damning. This sounds like it was made off the Guitar Hero 5 song created. This part sounds like that, and I'm gonna be honest, that is one of the worst things a rock band could hear about this song. This is clumsy. Oh, you've lost me. This album lost me hard, man. That crackly distortion is kind of cool, but it's not really doing anything with it. This is the cover art you chose for this album? This shit looks like a Bonobo album. Yeah, I don't know, Quietus. I'm not seeing it on this one. Sorry, 50 Foot Wave. You guys are good. You guys are really good players. Like, you're clearly really good players. I found myself frustratingly unmoved. It felt a bit like we were really searching for like ideas on this thing, and the tank's a little bit on empty. But you know, every single song is arranged and produced well. But that's rarely exciting enough for me to want to sit through these songs for 5+ minutes. I found this thing really, really tough to sit through. I'd give it like a 3. Was not for me. Not my cup of tea. This album was one I was really looking forward to when I got it on the wheel. I remember being pretty hyped because it's a Warp Records release. This is a Warp Records thing. And I remember seeing this on the Warp Records website, I think closer to the album's release. It's a website I look at pretty often just to make sure I'm not missing anything too cool. And with the hum, I think this is the most difficult one to determine as a hidden gem or not. But I'm tipping towards yes. Because ultimately this record, it does succeed in just being a little different. I don't think all of it's particularly great, but it's one of a kind. If anything else, like, I have to shout out the track Caterpillar. Caterpillar is that's a gem. That song individually, that's a fucking gem. Caterpillar. There it is. That transition was good. That transition was perfect, seamless, amazing. Like a gang of mobsters, like walking towards, like the Kings from Fallout New Vegas. Ugh. I won't lie, the bass sounds great. This just sounds great. Okay, James, I see you with that one. This is a loop that I'm cool to listen to for 5 minutes. Ugh. Oh, you went freak mode on this one, bro. Oh, yeah, James. Hey. James Ellis. Ford, bro. You ain't even on 1,000 monthly listeners and you're on Warp Records? The fuck? I think I feel pretty comfortable saying that The Hum is the best sounding album that this video will highlight. This album sounds phenomenal, and I think that is a testament to the decades of work James Ellis Ford has put in. This guy has produced and written and recorded and mixed and mastered a lot of albums that you probably heard. You work with Arctic Monkeys, Depeche Mode, Foles, Gorillaz, Kylie Minogue, Simeon Noble Disco, The Lost Shadow Puppets. Whoa, you got quite the resume, sir. This thing sounds amazing. His voice doesn't. It sounds a little bit dry though. I don't know if I'm really like enjoying this. But no individual element of this song is like exciting me necessarily. But this sounds like this would pop off in the world of like Harold Halibut. Like in that universe, this is like hype as well. Kind of a dweeby, bleepy vibe to this. Never wanted anything? Not one thing? You never in your life created a Cabaret's Marvelous Creations, brother. You never wanted a MIDI keyboard? You ain't never wanted to like go outside? Track 4 of 10 is coming up. Let's see what we got. Squeaky wheel. Squeaky wheel. It has the eccentricity that you come to expect from something on Warp Records, but not the fire, like the excitement isn't there really. When's Ollie XL making his fucking Warp baby? Yo, that shit. I know that man is cooking up some crazy shit. Yeah, oh my lord, this is a bit fucking dead, isn't it? Oh, sucking the life out of me. He had a pretty good start going. Honestly, like the importance and the value of a good opening 2 tracks. You can straight up, if you have a crazy opening like 1, 2, 3 tracks, you can just like trick the listener into thinking you gotta get out. Sequencing is slept on, like truly slept on. Like I do think it is something that is talked about and like appreciated, but yeah, that shit goes a long way, bro. The opening track and I think it's the title track. These songs are much more ambient and sparse, quiet, but they're really vivid, they're really warm, really welcoming. Every micro progression is extremely noticeable and feelable. But where I struggle with this thing, it always feels really cruel to say this, if this is an issue, you know, that I have for an album and I highlight it. It feels kind of like rude or something, but this is just the truth of it. I found this album to be corny. Track 5 out of 10 is going to be Warpsh. There we are. There, we're back. What? I mean, I'll be real, I'll never listen to this outside of this video. But I'll give you some props for keeping some variation in there, like keeping things alive a little bit. We're really like riding this like this like lead riff. Crank those horns up, like go like Black Meaty Fat Dog type energy. Just go like sicko. I can hear you teasing it with these like squealy solos. I don't think James got that dog in him, bro. I don't think he got that fat dog in him, bro. You have an ear that is very distinctly you, but the ideas that are getting funneled through that ear of yours, they just aren't quite hitting for me, bro. Blah, 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 blah. Like the tone of every like main loop that this record has shown me has been one of like, beware, watch out, like oncoming threat kind of vibe, or like there's like a mysterious sort of angle. I'm trying to get to like the root of where this album's falling short. I feel like it, like on a technical level, has everything. Can't say it's grabbing me. I thought this thing sounded kind of cheesy. Like on the yips, I found the kind of lead horns to be sort of, it feels like they're sort of trying to convince me they're really exciting. They're just not to me. I just find them a little obnoxious. And that's why Caterpillar was such an outlier for me. It was a real standout because I just thought the central groove was so damn strong that I was so okay with it just sort of looping for however long the song wanted to go on for, because it just sounded so good. And the other songs kind of felt like they were shooting to be that moment, whereas that one's the only one that really stuck the landing on it. So yeah, again, a slight mixed bag situation going on, but as far as purely just musicianship and the technical side of things, like this album does not slouch once. And I think that's definitely why Warp Records signed James Ellis Ford. I'm assuming they picked this album up because it is just so pristinely assembled. The general vibe of the record and the atmosphere is pretty nice. It's anxious, I would say. The album feels very anxious to me. Overall, it's one of a kind. It's cool. It's distinct. But yeah, I think you're just going to find yourself listening to a lot of songs that are kind of disappointing. That potential was just rarely capitalized on. And I kind of felt a little like in two minds by the end of it. But it's definitely stuck with me. I've been sort of rattling in my head my thoughts on this record more so than the other records. Like it's stuck in my head. My personal rating for it would be like 6 to 7 out of 10, I think. Deep Cabaret, Matchless. And how do we end things off? Bafflingly. This record is fucking weird as fuck. This is the most different, unique, strange, hard to put into words record in the video for sure. I don't know exactly how to begin, but it's combining some sonic ideas and genres that I don't think I've heard before exactly. Like there's like weird ritual demon summoning vocals and like beatboxing alongside like fucking bagpipes, and then you got this Anthony and the Johnson style like kind of melancholic crooning singer guy. Like it's Deep Cabaret, bro. Ooh. It's fucking Homer Simpson doing the chainsaw. Whoa. Turn that down like there, maybe. What the fuck are we doing today? Ain't no need to be doing all that, bro. You guys ain't got one song. You need to. You got a bit of hurdy-gurdy in there, yeah? Decent. I fuck with the hurdy-gurdy heavy, bro. Fucking with it. Really drony vocals. It reminds me a little bit of Anthony and the Johnsons, but with like less swag. Vocals are a little dry. The most interesting part of the song is definitely these background mouth noises. All over the fucking song. Bro, why are you singing like fucking Dory doing the whale voice, man? Oh my lord. I mean, the emotion is there though. You know what? It's growing on me. What are these mouth noises, bro? Fucking fascinating. It's combining so many musical ideas that I never really quite thought would ever work, but to be honest, they do kind of work. Sonically, this thing is really interesting. I don't think it ever fails to be, at the very least, like enticing. Like you want to peel back the layers a little bit during every moment of this record. But again, The songs here aren't always home runs. There's definitely a bit of a communal spirit to the thing, to the whole album. It sort of sounds like a sea shanty, and that spirit can culminate into some pretty exciting orchestral explosions, like on Wedding Wish, which I think was overall my favorite song. This is the type of shit I'd expect from the Quietus. Very little about that song stuck out as particularly great to me. It was captivating. It was a captivating listen. I'm seeing the vision at least a little bit. Let's see what Wedding Wish has to say. Ooh. I gotta be real, I don't really fuck with bagpipes as an instrument. It's probably my least favorite instrument. I don't think I've ever heard a bagpipe and identified the individual sound of a bagpipe as like a nice sound. This is coming from a personal place, to be fair. There was a time when I was really young where like, I don't know, it was at like my grandparents' house, and there was like some birthday or something like that, some event was happening, and there was like a swimming pool, and I remember walking out of the swimming pool room, and there was just this fucking bagpipes player. It was so deafeningly loud, it scared the shit out. I was just trying to escape, but no matter how far away I got from the back, it was still just as loud. I was like, oh, it really threw me. So that's probably having a part to play, you know. My disliking for bagpipe. Alright, let me actually listen to the song. It gives me the vibe of like a sea shanty. I don't know if that's just the cover art influencing the kind of impression the record's leaving. But like, we're at sea and we're just sort of like traveling together, making the most of it, singing a song, like playing music, using our fucking mouth, whatever we can do to sort of making some shit happen. There's a kind of communal vibe to this. There's something sweet about this. There's something endearing about this. Am I seeing the light on bagpipes? This sounds really nice. Yeah, dude, this is a lovely song. I'm eager for the rest of this now. Like the first one, like I was like, huh, okay, I'm interested. I don't know if I like it, but I'm interested. The second one, I actively really enjoyed that. That was cool. Real Reality had some amazing musicianship. That's one of 2 tracks that features some guitar work from a Justin Adams, and that contribution really came together gorgeously on the track Real Reality. Some amazing work there. The vocals are fucking fascinating on this thing. I cannot tell at all if I am in complete admiration of them or I just really wish he would stop. This is the kind of beat you play when it's story time. 5 years ago, I walked into the tavern with my Uncle Tommy. Everyone inside stared at us. We didn't feel welcome, but we needed a drink. We were dehydrated from walking. Some shit like that. I feel like I'm getting a little tired of hearing the voice do this, like, every syllable super elongated and, like, sung in this kind of quivering sadness voice. Like, I think some, like, stern gruffness would sound great over this. I would like it more if I reckon the voice paid more attention to, like, rhythmic kind of groove rather than this like soaring dramatic thing that it's doing. I don't think it sounds bad at all. It makes me think of like Nick Cave or Anthony the Johnsons. Very good points of comparison. Like, that's praise. I reckon the variation that it would offer if the voice was doing something else would be nice. They are powerful vocals. He kind of commits to making every syllable feel like it's, you know, stretching the vowels out, you know, like if he says like merrily, he'll be like, instead of just saying, you know, merrily, he'll say, I don't think he does say that word in the album. I'm not sure why that was like the one I used for the example here, but like the word I use, I don't know. But let's just say, for example, he sung the word merrily. Instead of singing it like merrily, he'll be like merrily. Like he'll really elongate it, and quite often I was like, brother, chill. This album is pretty short, but I did feel like my time got fairly disrespected. This thing just sits in nothing pretty often, and sometimes that nothing can be kind of nice. You can kind of feel like a part of just this weird little freak family. These guys are pretty delightfully in their own bag. Despite my reservations, this is pretty special. This is really unique. Like, there's nothing else sounding quite like this. I'm leaning more positive. Could definitely use some tidying, but yeah, it's not that bad. 6 out of 10? Is it a hidden gem though? You know what? It's just a little too clunky as an album to justify calling it a hidden gem. So I'll hold off on that, but I wouldn't call it bad. Give it a go. And that covers all of my my hand-picked selections for albums to check out that the Quietus have written about, you know, in one way or another. These are the few I chose, and what have I learned? Is it worth using the Quietus to discover new music? Overall, I think so. You know, there are some sounds I have heard from these records that felt pretty brand new to me, and that's, you know, that's something. I listen to a lot of music, you know, I listen to hundreds of albums every year, whether that's new releases, old releases, you know. I'm listening to music pretty frequently in my day-to-day life. It's really exciting when you come across something that truly feels like a new thing, and I got that experience multiple times. If I were to, you know, select another random batch of Quietus approved records, I'd probably have another, you know, few more of those experiences, and to be able to sort of like bank on that experience or guarantee the experience of hearing something really new, even if it's not really executed to maximum impact perfection, like that's good to know. It's good to know there's a publication out there really digging through the trenches, really finding these sort of oddball records. And I have learned that it doesn't make good reaction content at all. You know, these reaction videos, if I were to show you the uncut reaction video, you'd be bored out of your fucking mind. There's two sides to the coin though, you know, for every sort of fresh, cool, new, weird album I came across, there was another that was just kind of boring, derivative. But you're getting a lot of just fresh voices, fresh bands, singers, producers, fresh talent. They're unflinchingly themselves. They're figuring out how to realize their vision. Or on the other side of things, you're getting, you know, seasoned musicians who are sort of at a point in their career where they're trying to find whatever corners of their voice they haven't unearthed yet and build something new out of it. And in some cases that can sound pretty exciting, and there's something endearing, warm about that I could definitely see somebody finding a bit of solace in, you know. Overall, this was a cool experiment. You know, it's cool to just spend a video just talking about some albums that I can't imagine a huge number of other videos are going to be covering. I thought, why not dedicate a video to the underdogs? Whether I have positive or negative things to say, let's take some time to listen. Let's put our ears to the underground, find something special, and ultimately, I've got a few songs that I'm just going to highlight right now. I would recommend you add to your liked songs, your playlist, you save the following tracks: Caterpillar by James Ellis Ford, Wedding Wish by Deep Cabaret, West by Sasha Rankas, Hex on My Sex by Scud FM, Nanearth Ganel by Quaid, as well as C Unit by Quaid, and Soul Fire by Surgeon. These are the songs that I found from this whole video that I think are worth your time, worth trying. Hope you enjoyed this, and now it's time to spin the wheel again to see what the fuck I'm going to be doing next.